Hello,
Hi,
I am Anthony,
I'm Samantha.
and we are
Geeking
Out.
Geeking out. Oh, and this is Sirius.
This is Sirius.
He's cute.
Middle name Lee. Sirius Lee. He's very cute.
Yes, he's super cute.
So, we are going to be talking a lot about books.
Books.
We like to read, especially Samantha. I like to read as well, but I probably don't read as often as her. Well, I don't. We're going to talk about movies, and we're going to talk about TV shows.
Popular culture.
The TARDIS. First, we are going to talk about the last book we read, and then we're going to talk about what we're reading / what we're going to be reading.
Okay,
Alright.
let's do it. You first.
So the last book I just finished a couple days ago, it's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. It was a very good book, very entertaining. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on my Goodreads. I would definitely recommend it. There was a lot I liked. I could relate to it, having been through depression, and I think that anyone who has been through that would definitely enjoy reading this book, and they could identify with it. I really liked the voice, the style of writing. It really felt like you were, listening to a teenager. And so basically the book, is a kid, Craig Gilner. He has depression, and he calls the suicide hotline, and they tell him to go to the hospital, and so he goes there, and he ends up in the adult psychiatric ward because they're doing construction. So that makes for a lot of interesting times where he gets to see how there's a lot of people who have been through a lot of crazy stuff in their lives. He kind of learns a lot from his time in the psychiatric ward. And so yeah, it's a pretty good book. The reason I would say 4 out of 5 stars is just there's not like a lot of times that I would say that I can think back to that are memorable or that I can quote. Which normally I feel like if a book is 5 stars, there's a lot of specific moments I remember.
I just finished a couple days ago, I believe, Between Shades of Grey by Rudis Sepetys. Something like that. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce. Sepetys? I think that's what...
I've heard it both ways.
It's a historical fiction novel. The main character is a 15-year-old named Lena from Lithuania, and her family and a bunch of different people from the Baltic area are taken by the Russians and sent to work in labor camps and on labor farms. I think this is a very important book because I'm sure there are other people out there who, like me, did not know as much about Stalin's occupation of the Baltic area. It is based on first-hand accounts. The author did go to Lithuania a couple times and talk to survivors, and her parents are actually refugees. So it's a very powerful book. I would definitely recommend it if you haven't read it already. It's definitely one of my favorite books just in general. And I feel like what might attract you about this, especially if you're not necessarily just into historical fiction, is art plays a pretty big role in it because Lena, the main character, is an artist, and she tries to document what they're going through through her drawing so she can show people what actually happened.
What we're currently reading. I am reading The Tales of Beetle the Bard. I started it quite a while ago, and now I've decided, I should just pick it back up. I kind of got into the Harry Potter series then, and I finally finished it. So now I think I should get back to this, and I'm excited because, I love everything Harry Potter. All things Harry Potter. So it'll just be nice to get in, into the world a little more. And we bought the Hogwarts Library today.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read the other two, Quidditch Through the Ages and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, of course, because it's gonna be
movie eventually.
It's gonna be movies.
A trilogy, I think.
So that'll be exciting.
I currently am reading Prodigy from the library by Marie Lu. It's the second book. Are you done? Nope, he's done. It's the second book in the Legend trilogy, and I feel like a lot of people might be kind of put off by it because there are so many dystopian trilogies out there. Ever since the Hunger Games, I feel like it's just kind of a trend. Every book seems to be part of a series, part of a trilogy, and personally, for someone who's in the middle of like 50 series, because I can't read them straight through, I don't necessarily look forward to starting a new one, even if I'm very interested in the book. But this is one of those cases where I just feel like it's so unique compared to other dystopian books. It seems very realistic to kind of, you know, what's going on in our society, or what I could personally see happening in the not so distant future. Also, what I really appreciate is there's two main narrators, and, you know, in the first book, one is kind of, you know, living on the streets, and the other is very close with the rest of the government because they're a prodigy. And in this book, the roles are kind of reversed, so it's interesting to see them kind of switch places. The government conspiracy stuff is very intriguing and it's very well written, and I appreciate that there are people of color in this book, because I feel like there's not a lot of diversity in a lot of YA books. They all seem to be, you know, your stereotypical white female. There's a lot of very unique things about this book, and I really do appreciate it. I feel like it might be one of those series where I actually read the next book pretty soon afterwards. So, Prodigy.
Alright, so in the future, for our future videos, we will, of course, keep talking about our books.
Yes.
And, you know, who knows, maybe we'll even talk about books we've read in the past again, and
oh, for sure,
about what we're reading, and we're going to talk about movies that we see, we're going to talk about TV shows.
Yes, a lot of popular culture will be found here.
I'm sure I'm going to work some Doctor Who in there, because I can't stop talking about it.
That's true.
I need to catch up. We need to catch up.
I know. There are some wonderful book memes hosted during the week. That on Tuesdays, it's Top 10 Tuesday, hosted by The Broken the Bookish. I know.
I'm Macaulay Culkin.
Why not? This week, I believe, is Top 10 Books You Really Want to Read But You Don't Own Yet. And then Wednesdays, there's Top 5 Wednesday, hosted by Ginger Reads Laney. And there's also a Goodreads group there as well. That's her YouTube handle.
Ginger Reads Laney.
Yep. She's a ginger.
Oh, Ginger Reads?
Yeah.
Reads.
Yes.
I thought that was
her name
a
is
whole
Laney.
Name. Ginger Reads Laney.
And I believe this week is Top 5 Book Spines. I'm sure you'll also see book hauls from the library and from Barnes & Noble and other places too. So.
And we'll have more Sirius, because he's cute.
He is very cute.
There might even be a little bit of magic.
No. Please don't.
Nox. Lumos. Samantha disappeared, I guess. I've always wanted to use that spell.
Thank you guys so much for watching today. Like we said earlier, look for more videos in the not so distant future.
Stay classy, Internet.
And thank you for stopping by.